let's take a look at creating our first data validation rule inside of Excel. Now again, I'm still on the sort and filter worksheet within the Excel 102 exercise file. Now what I'd like to do here is I want to create a drop-down list, a little pick list. When users are entering the make value within these records, I want to give them a specific list of makes that they can choose from, right? Ford, Chevy, Pontiac, Oldsmobile. Give them just those values. That way, we're not getting extra stuff inside there that doesn't belong, and we're getting properly spelled. As long as we spell it correctly, then anybody that uses the drop-down will get the proper results as well. So our first step to applying data validation is we have to select the cells that we're going to apply the validation to. So our first step, I'm going to click up inside of cell B4, and I'm going to go down. I'm just going to hold my shift key on my keyboard, and I'm going to press the B30 cell. Now that's the range of cells that I want to apply the data validation to. We could grab the entire column. If you imagine this list getting hundreds or thousands of records large, then we want to accommodate for that. We would highlight that range of cells. Just for demonstration purposes, I'm going to grab B4 to B30. That's the cells I'm going to apply it to. Once that's highlighted, I'm going to go to my data tab, top of my screen. And on the data tab towards the right, you've got data tools. Within there, we've got data validation. I'm going to go ahead and give that lower half of the button a click. You'll find that there's a handful of options in here. The first one being data validation. I'll give that a click. All right, inside my data validation window, we've got 3 tabs: settings, input message, and error alert. We're going to ignore the input and error alert for right now. We'll come back to those here in just a little bit. We're going to focus on the settings tab. Now on the settings tab, it currently says that the validation criteria will allow any value. We know that. You can jump into cells B4 to B30 and you can type whatever you want in there. Excel doesn't care. It could be numbers, it could be misspelled items, it could be whatever we want at this point. Excel allows that. But we want to control it. So instead of any value, I'm going to click on the drop down. We get a list of validation criteria settings to choose from. Now the first one we're going to take a look at here is a combo box, a little pick list, a drop down menu. So there's an option in there for list. I'll give that a click. Once I select list there, I then get the source option that opens up for me. This is where you're going to create your list. Now inside of here, I'm going to type in essentially the makes that I want the users to pick from. I'm going to say Ford, comma, Chevy, comma, and I'm just going to continue to create this list separating each value by a comma. Ford, comma, Chevy, comma, let's see what else we got. Pontiac, comma, let's make sure I spelled it right there, yep. Oldsmobile, make sure I spelled that one right. And do we have any, and a Dodge. All right, D-O-D-G-E, Dodge. All right. So confirming that I spelled them all right there. We don't want to misspell it here because this is what everybody's going to be using. Ford, Chevy, Pontiac, Oldsmobile, Dodge. All right, we're looking good there. I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. So now, remember I had B4 to B30 selected. If I go into any of those cells, I've now got a little drop-down arrow. I click on that drop-down and it gives me the list of makes that I've defined. Just like that. So now as somebody enters a new record, let's see, we get a new ID here. I'm going to say 50. I'll drop one in. Got a nice little drop down there. I'll grab Ford, and then I can continue to fill this out. Let's see, what's a Ford there? Ford Festiva. Ooh, let's make sure I spelled that one right, and so on. Continue to fill out that record. But a nice little drop down to assist our users in filling out the records. Now I do want to point out something. In some regions, now you recall here I got B4 to B30. I'll select that again. Go to my data tab, underneath data validation. I'll go back into data validation. There's my list. Here, I'm using commas to separate the values. In some regions, you won't use a comma, you'll use a semicolon. Now, if you use a comma and it's not proper for your region, when you go to the little drop down, instead of individual list items that you can pick from, it'll just be one long list. So at that point, just reselect the cells, B4 to B30, go back to data validation, and just change it from commas to semicolons instead. So try this out. Get in there, highlight the group of cells. I just did B4 to B30, data validation, create your list, and set up your values in there. Try that out, and then we'll take a look at some more settings here.